It's another Sunday, so that means it's time for another episode of Taking It Slow. Welcome to Taking It Slow, people. और विशु क्या हाल चाल?
मेरे तो बहुत ही मस्त हाल है यार। मैं अभी तक इतना मोटिवेटेड फील कर रहा हूँ ना अपने पिछले वाले पॉडकास्ट से, जो गरिमा के साथ है। इतना अमेजिंग कन्वर्सेशन और इतना मस्त बातें हुई। एंड आई होप जो हमारा आज का पॉडकास्ट है दैट गिव्स द सेम फीलिंग टू मी।
As we said in the last podcast, we're trying to do a mini series on life in the armed forces. Last time around, we had quarter leader Garima Mishra with us
Yes.
from the Air Force. And today we are very, very honored to be joined by Colonel Manish Joshi, who has given 26 years of his life to the Indian Armed Forces. Yes, you heard that right.
Yeah.
26 years of his life. I hope that he takes us through his life in the armed forces, through his shoes, through his lens, and shares a lot of anecdotes with us. So,
Yeah.
without any further delay, let's dive right in, people. So, Vishu, we have a very, very special guest with us this evening. We are very, very privileged and humbled to be joined by Colonel Manish Joshi, who has spent most of his life servicing the country in the Indian Army. Manish, sir, very, very humbled to welcome you on the podcast, Taking It Slow. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for the welcome. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I already have goosebumps here.
26 years. We are around 30 years old. So, the
Yeah.
amount of time we have spent on the earth, you have spent that same amount of time servicing the country. So first of all, massive kudos to you, sir, and
Yeah.
thank you
Thank
from
you
the
very much.
bottom.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you from the bottom of our hearts for your service to the nation. And let's try and look back on the 26 years. मुझे हर बार बोलते हुए थोड़ा सा अजीब सा लग रहा है. 26 years in the service of the nation, sir. How was your time there?
The time was pretty much what I expected.
Right.
Because I hail from a services background. My father was in the Air Force.
Okay.
And two uncles were in the Army. And one uncle removed was in the Navy. Primarily because I joined the Indian Army and the infantry, it gave me opportunities to see many things which no civilian can ever see in his life.
Definitely.
So that I'm very thankful to the Army.
कहाँ सर्व किया सर पहले तो वो बताओ.
So my first posting was in Assam. Then my unit, by the way, my unit is 22nd Battalion, the Rajput Regiment. It's a proper infantry battalion, and it was raised on 1st of October 1966. So my unit was in the 1971 war, and
Wow.
we are privileged to have won a battle honor and a theater honor. The battle honor was for particular action which we had taken there, which was recognized as such, and we got the theater honor of East Pakistan. So my first posting in 91 was in Assam, where my unit was involved in Operation Rhino, which was to take control of the Ulfa and the Bodos. Then after that, I went for some basic instructional courses to Mau, where I started learning my craft as to what it actually is, to practice it on ground. And then after that time, I finished these courses. First, I went for the young officers course in Mau. Then I went to the commandos course in Belgaum. That in itself was a very nice experience. And after that, my unit went to Punjab. And then from there, we went to Siachen. That was one experience which will really stand me through. From there, we came down and I got posted to my regimental center to train recruits there as an instructor. And from there, I got back to the unit. By that time, the unit was in Kanpur. Then from there, we moved to a place called Suratgarh, which is Rajasthan. And from Suratgarh, we went to Jammu. There also, we had one or two incidents. Yes, two incidents there. And after that, I got posted to Delhi on a staff appointment. And then I put up my papers to go on premature retirement because the work-life balance was not setting up properly. I had been away from my wife and kids for 11 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought that at this delicate juncture they needed me. So I got back here in March 2018.
Nice. So
nutshell is my career.
Wow.
Nice. And we visit like 4 states and we wish हम सोचते हैं कि हमने भारत दर्शन कर लिया है. And अभी ये सुनते हुए realize हुआ okay.
Yeah.
ये हमने नाम भी नहीं सुना है. And you're served there.
Yeah, my father was an ex-NDA, National Defense Academy in Pune. So obviously that was the correct path for me to follow. NDA takes people at a very early age, at a very tender age.
Right.
So I went in when I was about 17 and a half or so. So 3 years of NDA training, and after that 1 year in IMA, and then I joined the army.
So when you first went to Dehradun Academy, sir, वहाँ पर you would have you spent a year there, and
Yes.
वहाँ पर you must have formed friendships and bonds with your fellow soldiers, colleagues, etc. And are you still in touch with those people who you met initially? And did you keep track के इसकी posting यहाँ हुई, मेरी यहाँ हुई? Then did you still used to keep in touch with people?
Or is
Yes,
it like totally dynamic? Okay.
Fortunately, because of WhatsApp, earlier there was nothing like WhatsApp, so we
Right.
used to write letters. But after mobiles came, we kept in touch, and WhatsApp and Facebook has really reunited all of us.
Hmm.
So I am from the Delta Squadron in India, and from a casino company in IMA. So we have our own WhatsApp groups there.
Nice, nice.
But 21 plus 25 is 2017. In 2017, we had a huge party in Dehradun to celebrate our silver jubilee of commissioning.
Brilliant.
So I attended that as part of my motorcycling journeys. I am a long distance motorcycle rider also.
Arey,
Oh.
nice.
Awesome.
So I have
Awesome.
been to Ladakh twice. Once in 2012, I led a team of other 4 guys. And once in 2019, I went solo, right up till Siachen to meet my friend there.
Brilliant. That
And
is
just last
so
Sunday,
cool.
I've just come back from Bangalore. So Bangalore, Pune, I did in one shot. I just wanted to see the route, what it is like. Nice 850 kilometers in 13 hours.
Wow. Wow.
My wife doesn't
nice.
like it much. She said, I'm too old to do
I'm not
kind of
shocked.
हाँ, you retired early to spend time with her ना अभी
Yeah,
expeditions पे निकलने के लिए थोड़ी.
Correct. So
अच्छा,
that's the thing.
after you completed your training course, when you joined your first posting, was there a substantial difference in circumstantial pressure, or was there a severe change in lifestyle when you actually joined the first posting from your training days?
From a psychological point of view, yes, tremendous difference.
Hmm.
From a daily routine point of view, not much, because the training academy is modeled a bit on the army life. So you wake up
Okay.
at around 4 to 5 in the morning, you go to do your physical training exercise at 5:45, get back, you have a breakfast by 4 to 8, you go to the office 8 o'clock. So that part was okay, but the psychological part is that you are being tested by every single pair of eyes which looks at you.
Right, right.
That testing is not overt; it is very covert. How you wear a uniform, what kind of respect you give to it, how you interact with your officers, with the men, that is the Jawans. What are those areas about which you are more concerned? Are you concerned about your own comfort? Or are you
Right.
concerned more about the comfort of the Jawans? How good are you in your weapon handling? How good are you in the explanation of tactics? What is your morals? Morals and ethics कैसे हैं? Are they dodgy?
Hmm.
With respect to money,
Mhm.
handling people's finances, and the vibes which you give off, and all these people, they have got a lot of service behind them. So you have got NCOs, all the best things in life I was taught by NCOs, by Jawan, men.
Nice.
How to calculate a Jawan's pay, how to run better, how to do PT better, how to wear my uniform correctly, how to pay respect to regimental flag, मंदिर में कैसे बैठना है, पूजा कैसे करनी है, प्रसाद ज्यादा नहीं मांगना है, कितना भी मीठा लगे. So these things were taught by the Jawan, and the more the closer I went to them, of course, there's always a barrier between an officer and a Jawan. The more I learned
Right.
from them, and not a single Jawan, and God is my witness, has ever taught me anything which is wrong. He will teach me, साहब, ये चीज ऐसे होनी चाहिए, लेकिन ऐसे होती है.
Hmm.
ये चीज कभी नहीं करनी चाहिए. ये चीज कर लो तो थोड़ा बहुत चल जाता है. All facets. That is how a Jawan treats an officer. The expectation on the shoulder of a young officer is very, very high from the unit. Will this chap actually make the grade?
Hmm.
Everybody is hoping that he doesn't put a foot wrong and does something which injures the izzat of the unit. This
Right.
izzat word, jo hai na, it is very
Right.
difficult to define and quantify.
Right.
So that way, yes, expectations were high, and because I came from an armed forces background, for me it was definitely much easier than others who
You have
came
to live
from
up to your.
absolutely- yes, you have to live up to that. कि भाई, your father was in the Air Force, your uncle was in the army, तू साला ये क्या कर रहा है? So that thing should never happen.
Right.
So my language is also restricted here. You can't use colorful army language. So normally use करते हैं,
नहीं सर, हम कर सकते हैं यूज.
So, यहाँ
We
पे
can.
सब जितना कलर डाला है सर कलर डाल सकते हैं इसमें पूरा.
है ना?
बट हाँ, वो इज्जत का सवाल है, आप वो आर्मी के अंदर ही करना चाहेंगे.
So that definitely is there. And then as you grow in service, when people become comfortable with your ideas, you become comfortable with people's ideas. You have to break many preconceived notions which you had about life in the army. or life in a unit, what it is like. You have to
Such as?
learn many new things. For example, in the India, we used to have something called collective punishment. So if one guy does something wrong, the entire course of 24 is punished. Why? There is a very distinct reason for it. So that undergoing that punishment builds a team spirit. Makes
Right.
people become strong. You support my left shoulder, you support my right shoulder. We will see this through. Even if one guy is the guy who's made the fuck up, everybody gets a boot. But in the armed forces, that thing does not happen. If a man has made a mistake, he only will be punished. Correct? He made the mistake. Why should the others get punished? What is seen on screen in real life, real life, that is a film, is absolutely fuck all. Nothing like that happens actually in the army life. No, it is not like that. It is definitely much more serious.
Yes.
And there is an element of flippancy to it. Okay, we are going on a patrol. There will be a shootout out there. Okay. What the Brits used to call in World War II, keep calm and carry on. Have a strict British upper lip, that kind of thing. This is part of our job, getting shot and things. Okay, we will take it in our stride.
Okay.
But screen pe dikhate hain, ye wo chilla raha hai, ye karo wo, all that is all rubbish. Nothing like that actually happens. So all these things you start, imbibing, you start absorbing like a dry sponge. And after 3, 4, 5 years or so, you can clearly make out the difference between what you are now, after 5 or 6 years of service, and what you were when you joined.
So was that the time after which you felt that you belonged there? Okay, now this is my life. I have arrived here. Because initially when you would have joined there, as you said, there was a lot of mental pressure also. There would have been
yes,
a lot
because
of
I was actually supposed to go to the Air Force.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
my father was a fighter pilot in the Air Force. So he flew in 65 and 71 both.
Wow.
I wanted to follow his footsteps and join the Air Force to fly MiG-21 or so. But I had a spinal injury in IMA.
Okay.
So I was told that you cannot join the Air Force. You can't join the Navy also. So I said, fine, take it, I'll join the Army as long as I get the infantry. So with this kind of a baggage, on my back, I came to the unit. And very soon I found that, okay, flying mila nahi hai. But even then, the ethos is still the same.
Yes. Yes.
Those officers who are there, the men who are there, the men are different, yes, but the officers who are there, and that bond which is joining the three services is still very much the same. Okay, one part of it was flying, nahi mila koi baat nahi, but here I am with my jawans. So what an Air Force pilot can't go and sit on Siachen. He can't go on a patrol. But I can do that. Since the entire unit is together. So the Jawan knows that all of us, we are into this together. He might be in different companies. Alpha company hoga, Bravo mein hoga, Charlie mein hoga, Delta mein hoga. Kaise bhi hoga. Officers will be different. But all of the entire unit is going together. So there is tremendous strength which it derives from that. That camaraderie, esprit de corps.
So does it take some time to develop that camaraderie with the buddies, or as soon as you join, there are some grooming activities or some onboarding activities that ensure that this is my family now? ऐसी feeling आ जाए अंदर से?
No, nothing very coherent or nothing very positive, which is put through to you. Okay, this is your buddy. I mean, this is your unit, or you go through the unit history. Of course, you're taught. We were raised here in so and so place. From there we moved to so and so place. This is the silver in the mess. You have to memorize all that. कौन सी लड़ाई में क्या मिला था, and who died when, who got this award. All that is part of the regimental grooming, like they call it. And insofar as meeting the men is concerned, our army, thank God, the Almighty is great, it still believes in inducting Jawans into the infantry based on racial profiles.
Okay.
So, for example, my regiment is a Rajput regiment. This is public domain information. There is nothing secret or nothing classified about it. So, my unit is the Rajput regiment. Now, in the Rajput regiment, in my unit, we have 2 subunits which intake people from the Rajput clan.
Okay.
So their caste is Rajput. And there are 2 units which we take from 2 subunits we take from the Gujar clan. Mixing kabhi nahi hoga.
Okay.
इसके vacancy में ये नहीं आएगा, इसके vacancy में ये नहीं आएगा. Now there is great wisdom to this, which the Brits had followed when they were here, when it was the British Indian Army, and it has been found to be a very distinct battle-winning factor. People think that this is unique to the Indian Army. Those people don't know the armies of the world. In many units in the German Army, whether in World War I or World War II, many units in the British Army, many units in the American Army itna zyada nahi, and in the Russian Army, they have this exactly same type of intake of men, because if men from a particular place come together into a particular unit, they have a natural cohesion with each other.
They relate to each other better.
They relate to each other very well. They have their same customs, similar customs they have got. Their wives come from similar places. They may be related to each other. So it's one big family which comes together. And from that, they derive great strength. And then that इज्जत का सवाल भी है कि भाई मैं राजपूत हूँ, मैं गुज्जर हूँ. If I create a fuck up out here, that news travels backwards to my village. So village
मेरी पूरी lineage के ऊपर जज होगा फिर.
अच्छा आर्मी में भी ऐसा
तूने
होता
ये
है.
क्या यूनिट में दारू पी करके ऐसे कर दिया, तूने क्या है, ऐसे तो क्यों ना करते हैं. So that is a very strong binding force.
Nice.
That way.
I didn't know that. Now that you tell us like it is, it actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yes. So if you have a Sikh regiment, the older units of the Sikh regiment, you'll have only Sikhs, pure Sikhs. Or you have the Gurkhas. So you'll have Gurkhas from Nepal. You might have Gurkhas from Uttarakhand, but only Gurkhas by caste. Because of this, knitting together. They know each other telepathically almost.
Right.
And they have the same language. So as you know, language has its own, you can say, advantages, disadvantages. So they speak the same language. They have the same customs. They are a kind of a very homogeneous, cohesive group. And that has been found to be one of the single most battle-winning factors.
Nice. Makes sense. Makes absolute sense when you put it like that. Moving on from your onboarding, sir, you have spent 14 glorious years in service, as you said, before you moved to a staff role. During your tenure of 14 years, you must have seen a number of high tension situations also.
Yes.
Tell us a little more about that. क्या था, and उसमें what was the vibe like in the infantry, in the regiment? What we sitting here can't even comprehend कि वहाँ क्या चलता होगा, mental pressure कैसा रहता होगा. So just try to take us through your eyes, through your shoes, to whatever used to happen there.
And detail, like as much detail as you can.
As possible.
Yeah.
Okay. When my unit went to Siachen, so I had helped my second in command plan the induction. So the induction is, there is a particular route and there are a certain number of people only who can stay in certain places. Because at various stages, we've got acclimatization. So you have to acclimatize for 3 odd days. It's 10,000 feet, 14,000 feet, 18,000 feet, and so on and so forth. And I was deputed to a little bit of a tricky post, which is called Ashok. So there are various ways of reaching there, etc. And it was a very small post. And the Pakis were right in front of us at barely 100 meters or so. So we used to hear them, but we were on top and they were bottom. तो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से उनको गाली गलौज, वहां पे बड़ा गालियों का मेरा उनको वोकैबुलरी मेरे जवानों ने बहुत बढ़िया कर दिया. So we used to call them, and those abuses, they cut across everything, race, religion, everything. You can understand.
Yes,
I don't split out. And in between, we had one major incident wherein Paki shelling took place and one of my men was injured. He was injured very badly. So I evacuated him. The second incident had taken place the day I was myself moving down. So पहला incident हुआ था at around 45 days or so. Now my post was at 20,000 feet. And after 18,000 feet, as per the doctors, your body stops acclimatizing. So you start losing muscle tone. In my 3 months on top, I had lost 18 kgs. 18 kgs weight. ऐसे गाल वाला भी जो पूरा अंदर चला गया था. I was
18 kgs.
18 kgs in 3 months.
Okay.
Because there is the food there is the best that we can make. Pressure cooker में pressure बढ़ने के लिए takes 6 hours. Because there are 20,000 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
उसके ऊपर बाहर से आटा भी लगा दो. प्रेशर कुकर का गैसकेट तो 2 दिन के अंदर थैंक यू बोल देता है. उसको आटा लगा करके खाना वाना बनाओ. And food is also, the government does its best, but the place you're not supposed to stay there for elongated periods of time.
Yeah.
So the first incident took place, and one of my men was very badly injured. Almighty is with us, touch wood, he's still alive. So I told my boss, sir, I'm not going to move out after 45 days. I'll stay here for 90 days. So he gave me a good shouting, no, Joe, you should not do this, emotional nahi hona hoga. So I telephone ki taari kat di. So he was not in contact with me for 2 days. Because the telephone used to reach from the bottom, from the base camp, which was there. So 2 दिन के लिए telephone काट दिया. And then from a second post, that chap came to me कि साहब आपका telephone का तार कट हो गया है, communication टूट गया है. तो वहां से हमको मैसेज मिला कि communication टूट गया है. मैंने कहा टूटा रहने दो, कोई बात नहीं. So then I told them, मैंने आज कि साहब communication टूट गया, कैसे करेंगे? ऐसे मैंने काट दिया क्योंकि सीओ साहब बोल रहे हैं कि यहाँ से 45 दिन के बाद नीचे जाना पड़ेगा. And there were 3 posts which I was looking after in that locality. And the men knew what I'm like. So I was very fit, very physically very fit. सर साहब आप जाने के बाद दूसरा ऑफिसर आएगा, लेकिन he'll take time and has
Yeah.
to be very active on the post.
Yep.
इसीलिए CEO साहब something like blackmail the CEO that you can't contact me and he can't reach out till there and put a
Yeah.
weapon to my tempati and get me down. So after 2
Yeah.
days restored communication, by that time my steward realized, he said, यार ठीक है communication down मत करना, तेरे को बैठना है वहाँ पे बैठ जा, intelligence की और.
Huh.
Now the second incident which we had was really severe because you see my post was in such a place where
Oh.
in mountaineering term there is something called a cornice. So cornice is when you have wind blowing snow which impacts onto a surface like this.
Okay.
And ऐसे करते 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 there is an overhang. And this entire part is ice, packed ice. It's like steel. So if you hit it with an ice axe, it just makes a spark. And that ice axe sends a shudder down your spine. पूरा spine ऐसे हिल जाता है.
Okay.
And a very large mass of ice broke because of shifting temperature planes within that ice. Now that's why serving in such places one starts accepting destiny. जब लिखा है तो जाएंगे, कोई साला माइकाला उठा नहीं सकता. जब लिखा है कि जाना है तो साला
तो
कोई
कोई बचा नहीं
माइकाला
सकता.
यहाँ पे रोक नहीं सकता.
बराबर.
गोली गोली पे लिखा है all that that corny dialogue.
Yep.
If that large piece of ice had broken 30 seconds earlier, 9 chaps would have gone. If it had broken 30 seconds later, again 9 chaps would have gone. It broke exactly when it was supposed to break. So 3 people, they came under it and they were smashed down. And it took us, I heard that my man on top was there. It's very difficult to sleep. So I has to sleep for 1.5 hours at night. बाहर जाके चाय पियो, जवानों के साथ बीड़ी फूको, गपशप करो, क्या चल रहा है गांव में, those kind of things. You become very, very close to your men. Those are among the closest relationships I found in my service.
Right.
With those men on top.
And
he told me, "Saab, cornice toot gaya." This was at around 5:30 in the morning, 5:36 in the morning. It was uncomfortably warm that day, so I was, anticipating kuch sala lafda hone wala hai. The cornice broke, and 3 of my chaps were climbing up. They were hammered down. So we went there, we retrieved their bodies. Pura toot gaya tha. Cannot explain here. So we took their bodies, we retrieved those bodies, sent them back karke. That was the first incident. One chap, his entire thigh was shattered, acid, like powder ho gaya tha. And his hip bone was broken. Before we came on top, he was one of the fittest chaps. He was a marathon runner. Uska marathon aur sab band ho gaya abhi. Now the day I was coming down after 90 days, Pakistani shelling started happening.
again.
Shelling, yeah, artillery shelling. So there is something called an air burst. It is one of the filthiest sounds I've heard in my life. It is something like you have such a thick Turkish towel. वो Turkish towel को भिगो दिया, इतना मोटा towel, you wet it, and then a huge giant comes and he tears that towel like this, a wet towel. I said, it's a wettish, horrible sound. I said, fuck, and so they have started hitting airborne. So there's an air burst, and one of my jawans suddenly spun. You see how fresh the memory is. This happened on 20, August, September, October. This happened sometime on 27th or 26th October 1997. But the memory is like it is yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
एकदम मुड़ गया,
remember the sound, yeah.
लग गया, ऐसे कुछ लगा नहीं है, वो शेलिंग वेलिंग चल रहा है, तो चिंता मत कर, वो इधर उधर जा रहा हूँ, ठीक है ना, हम नीचे जाएंगे अभी. And I found that his shirt was poking out like this, ऐसे करके. ये क्या है? When I touched it, he shouted. Then I found that a splinter had come from behind, gone through and got stuck, and it's poking out from beneath his ribs. And he was bleeding like a bloody stuck pig. Blood flow coming down into his trouser, going down, पूरा कपड़ा वड़ा पहना करके going to his boot and coming out. And that night that day I'll not forget very easily. So we started moving out at around 12:31, and at places through chest deep snow, we took him till one particular place, and we reached that place around 9 at night. So it took us 9.5 hours. Being physically tired, physically exhausted, fatigued, कि साला भी बैठ करके जो सो जाना है, that is normal. When your mind gets fatigued,
Right.
you don't want to bloody think now. Your mind wants some respite because of the burden of responsibility. That was one or two of those times when my mind was also tired. कि बहुत हो गया अभी.
How do you deal with this then? मतलब the stuff you have seen, I mean, सुन के इतना weird लग रहा है कि
when you have that man, and later on we came to know there were two splinters. One splinter went off, the other got stuck here. It had missed everything major. And when you're sitting on the stretcher, we are pulling him. It was a ski-based stretcher. I was slapping him on the face. तो motherchode मरेगा ना? मैं ऊपर आकर के तेरे पीछे लगूंगा. You will not fucking die on me here. You will not die. Whatever comes, जो भी कुछ हो जाए, heart fail हो जाए, जो भी, you will not fucking die. थप्पड़ मार के, because if he starts falling asleep,
then it's endgame.
And it becomes very difficult to resuscitate him. So because of the grace of the Almighty, we were able to take him there. Next morning, early morning, one of the officers there whom I knew, he was a helicopter pilot. I told him, sir, if you don't come, this man will die. He said, कैसा मरेगा बंचो देखते हैं, इतना आसान नहीं है मरना. Don't worry, I'll be there. He broke 10-15 regulations and he took off in darkness. Helicopter, he took off in darkness, just extremely experienced pilot. He landed there. The sound of that helicopter landing there was sweeter than the sound of my firstborn child. Wow. It was such a sweet sound. Now I knew, and that is when my mind said, "Bas, up, baith ja." I had a cup of tea and went off to sleep. The whole night I had been awake, tending to the Jawan. He lived and he recovered very nicely. And in 17-18 May, my unit celebrated our golden jubilee. At that time, it was somewhere near Shimla.
Yeah.
So this chap came, and I saw him.
So he.
Sorry. I remember that time.
Yeah.
Hugged me like this, like brothers. And the junior jawans were saying कि ये साहब कौन है, आधा गड्ढा हो गया है, मोटरसाइकिल पे आ गया है. Then they told him, ये जोशी साहब है, इसको वहां से नीचे उतारा था, उनकी वजह से जिंदा है. Now, that feeling, the other man whose leg was gone, I found that I have, achieved my life's aim. I have achieved my destiny. That feeling of satisfaction from within.
Sir, matlab,
so these were two incidents.
Literally speechless right now.
Yeah.
So the bonds formed in the army are like no else. So this is why. This is why. You practically live and die for each other. So इससे strong bonds फिर कैसे बन सकते हैं कहीं और?
Yes. So these two incidents, they were there, and that was it was a bad post, bad in the sense it was strategically very vital. So usually a reasonably senior officer, and when I had about 6 years of service, the reasonably senior officer is posted there who knows what exactly is at stake. So if that post is lost, then a reasonable part of that area will be lost to the parties. That important. So that burden is there on your head. You have to keep everybody cheerful. You have to keep everybody happy. At the same time, you have to keep yourself fit and yourself happy. You have to, look after the weapons, everything like that. So this continuous working, it takes off the load from your mind. And if you enjoy life in the infantry, sitting like that, full moon night, paper पढ़ो, जवान के साथ बीड़ी पियो उसका, चाय पियो, हाँ क्या हो रहा है साहब, then they start sharing. अब जवानी को ये तकलीफ हो रही है, नहीं हो रहा 3-4 साल हो गए, या मेरा भाई ऐसे करता है, घर में ये हो रहा है, then start.
The bond,
like very, very strong bond. That way. So it's nice. I feel bad that we had those casualties, people who didn't make it, who lost their life because of various. Otherwise, yes, it was a good experience.
अभी जब आप after you have stepped into normal civilian life now, अभी तो बहुत ही weird feel होता होगा ना, ये सब formalities देखकर, ये सब fake acquaintances देखकर, when you've lived through such bonds, when you've made such friends who will be there with you for life, do you find it weird and weirdly off-putting कि ये सब क्या चल क्या रहा है?
How do you adjust to the normal society sir now? कि after आपने वैसी चीजें देखी हुई हैं, आपसे normal problem से कैसे आप adjust करते हो कि चाय पत्ती खत्म है घर में?
Yeah, my wife and kids, they know about these incidents. This had happened in Siachen. Similar thing took place in Jammu also. So when an officer, he got a gunshot injury, it hit eye, and eye fell out like that.
Oh my God.
I saw him, I evacuated him through everything. And he didn't make it. Very young officer. He was my own company officer. Very smart chap. I had lots of hopes for him. So my family, they have heard these things. These kind of things happen. I didn't tell about the Siachen thing and things like that till the time I got down and a couple of years had passed. But what you said about life outside has got its own challenges. So at present I am looking after the Dr. B.V. Rao Institute of Poultry Management and Technology. So this is a Venky's. You have heard of Venky's Chicken, na?
Yeah.
Venky's Chicken ka ek unit hai.
Yeah.
So the challenges are different. People earning low rates of pay, some human HR kind of issues.
Hmm.
So if you display interest in them, you find you get a similar level of satisfaction. You take care of
Okay.
them. I treat them like my men and my officers.
Hmm.
So वही भाषा चलती है. I said sorry, I
बिल्कुल.
cannot change my language. It's not aimed at you.
Yeah.
You create a fucker my bench. So क्या चुका पाकिया? So you're not, you know, it's like that. They've understood that.
Yeah.
Then they understand this guy. He has got empathy for us.
Yeah, this means
The
well.
challenges,
Yeah.
the challenges are different. My experience in the army has taught me. It has also endowed me with certain skill sets which are able to get me close to them, to make me understand what their trouble is. And once they find that he is genuine, then they are like, Jawan, no problem. बाकी फेकरी वगैरह चलता है, जिसको करना है करो यार, हम अपना काम करेंगे सीधा.
नाइस. सर आप रियल लाइफ के बारे में भी थोड़ा सा बता रहे थे. सो जिस तरह का डिपिक्शन होता है, तो दो तरह का डिपिक्शन होता है. एक तो एब्सोल्यूट हेट्रेड, एनिमोसिटी, जो सामने देखेगा मार देंगे टाइप्स. दूसरा एक डिपिक्शन होता है कि व्हेन द टेंशन इज नॉट एज हाई, यू आर पैली विद द अदर साइड, यू आर acquainted विद द अदर साइड, हाई हेलो टाइप होता रहता है. एंड ठीक है, काम अपनी जगह है, बट दोस्ती वगैरह भी हो जाती है. ऐसा भी एक डिपिक्शन होता है. सो व्हाट इज इट लाइक रियली?
Now, why I've never seen, I will never see a single movie about armed forces made in India. They are, to give a better word, they're pathetic, they're atrocious, they're lousy, they're not worth, driving a car till there. Forget about paying that $200 for the multiplex. They are horrible. They're across the board. They're really atrocious.
And these are better words.
To those people who have lived that life, who know actually what it is like.
It is a disrespect.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I mean, so none of us, neither my wife or my kids, none of us, we go and watch these movies because we have lived that life. They're really horrible, yeah. I mean, you can't laugh, you can't cry, gali galos bhi nahi kar sakte theater mein, ye kya venture chutte pa chalo. You can't do that. Now the reason for that is because in the US government, there is a proper department which deals with the projection of the US armed forces to popular media.
Yep.
Till 2016, there was an officer of the rank of Lieutenant Colonel who used to be posted, Lieutenant Colonel, oblique equivalent ranks in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. His job was to ensure that the projection of the US armed forces is as per set norms. So some do's are show camaraderie, integrity, loyalty, swearing by the Constitution and the flag, respecting elders, respecting your veterans, respecting your country. Some don'ts were homosexuality, drug abuse, gender bashing, or atrocities against women, not being a buddy to your soldier next to you. So these kind of things were don'ts. So do's and don'ts. Any and every single movie which features even a 5-minute clip about any department of the US Armed Forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. It's the 5 arms. That's what Pentagon है ना उनका.
Yeah.
That's why it's called the Pentagon. There are 5 arms.
Yep.
5 minute का भी clip होगा. It has to be sent to the Pentagon, where this officer and his team, they will go through the initial rushes of the movie to see how, where, why, and when are they depicting that particular scenario. If he says minute 1 to minute 50 seconds out, यहाँ पे 20 seconds out, यहाँ पे 1 minute out, remove the whole bloody goddamn to 1 hour. It's bakwas. This is not what the US Armed Forces are like. And more importantly, this is not what is to be projected as to what they are like, because they are not like that.
Right.
The movie does not make it. It is blocked there itself. Sorry, boss, you can't show this. Whether it is right, wrong, and from what I've heard, the USA has got the highest media freedom rules.
True.
The US press has got the, it's utopia for media freedom. If they can do this, because they're very, very careful about what they want the world to see about their armed forces. If I'm not mistaken, you must have seen Top Gun.
Yep.
नया वाला नहीं, जो अभी लॉन्च नहीं हुआ, वो 86 वाला.
नहीं, फर्स्ट वाला, हाँ देखा है.
फर्स्ट वाला ना. So I think the Department of Defense took some $100, $1,000, $15,000, some bloody chicken shit amount from them. And in the entire filming crew, there were 2 or 3 staff officers who were actually F-14 pilots who were embedded with the team. ये चुतियापा मत दिखाओ, ऐसे नहीं होता actually. ये actually होता है, ऐसे दिखाओ. live filming was done from aircraft carriers. India में होता तो उसकी माँ बहन करते थे, because that embedding is not there.
Yep.
Whenever I see an Indian movie, वो टोपी होगा पंजाब रेजिमेंट का, he'll be wearing a line of the army service code. The ribbons are of a person who's supposed to have 20 years of service, लेकिन उसका badges of rank captain का होगा.
बहुत inaccurate है.
हाँ हाँ.
उल्टा पुल्टा. This is not because the actual uniform is not supposed to be shown. Sorry, ऐसे कुछ नहीं है. This is because there is no embedding of a serving personnel to tell them, to teach them.
Yep.
That's why you see this garbage being shown on screen. And the Indian public laps it up because a very minuscule fraction of the Indian public is actually served in the uniform.
True.
Virtually no politician has served. Jaswant Singh to nikal gaya. Abhi he's no more. No more. He's been shutted out. So there's nobody to have these norms. That's why reel, what is shown in India on the reel, it is very, very little of that is actually what obtains on ground. कि ये मार देंगे और भारत माता की जय. What fucking balls भारत माता की जय? Here you're finding difficult to cover your own ass. There's a firefight going on. AK-47s are करके चल रहा है. Your first thing in your mind is you first protect your life. With that you protect the life of your buddies around you and your men around you, and ensure that that bastard dies for his country rather than you die for your country. Who's thinking of Bharat Mata, Bharat Mata? That does not come at all. First is your life, the life of the men around you, then the izzat of the unit which is there at the back of your mind. Unit की इज्जत का पहचान होना चाहिए. If in that the Bharat Mata aspect is some, if it is a small subset of the Bharat Mata, so be it. I granted that much. But ये भारत माता झंडा उठा करके भाग जाए, no bloody.
हाँ, वो सब जब जीत गए और कोई खतरा नहीं है तब आए.
हाँ, नहीं वो भी कुछ नहीं होता. It is very embarrassing to do this झंडा उठा करके. You don't need to do that.
So sir, एक चीज और मेरे को पूछनी थी. So what is the interaction with the other country like? जो the neighboring country पाकिस्तान के साथ अपना soldiers के साथ interaction होता है, नहीं होता है in calmer times, in peaceful times?
So the Pakistani army before Ziaul Haq came and fucked up the whole show was a very professional army. The training they got is the same. It's the Brits who trained us. It's the Brits who trained them. 1947 अलग हो गया ना, उससे पहले तो एक ही थे.
Same था.
So before this clown Ziaul Haq came and started the Islamization of the Pakistani army, वो भी हमारी तरह मेस के अंदर दारू पीते थे, सिगरेट पीते थे, बच्चे करते थे. It is something like green flag and यहाँ पे tricolor. And trying to force Urdu होता. But most of them, they did not like this Islamicization and the Dadi Badana and all that thing which comes, Till that time, in my humble opinion, the Pakistan Army was much better than what it is now. At that time, it was really a force to reckon with because their training, the mental wavelength was the same. Now, this Islamic thing and their way of teaching, etc., and this continuous toppling of governments by the military, that has weakened them. So, Pakistan Army it is no match for the Indian Army. Not because I'm an Indian, because I know things from inside which I cannot speak out here. It is not a match because you can't be fighting to control the country. You cannot be fighting for Pervez Musharraf who has overthrown a civilian government. So उसमें camaraderie कौन सी है? That is a bloody mercenary. गुंडा हो, गुंडा type behavior करो. Pakistan Army is a very big gunda in Pakistan. They command a very large portion of real estate. They're involved in all kinds of murky deals. Aisha Siddiqui ka kitab hai. It's called Milbus, Military Business. Multiple lakhs of crores worth of assets they have got. ऐसे Indian Army थोड़ी ना है. Indian Army is a very focal army which does business here. We are a professional crack army.
Right.
And politics ठीक है. वो गांव वाला politics, बिहार, यूपी में बीजेपी है, ये है, वो है. All that is fine. But not where it concerns the army.
So you just touched upon the issue of politics. So that is also something I wanted your opinion on. We have spent very less time on this planet as compared to you. So in our limited experience, the election campaigning that we have seen, the types of messaging that we have seen over the last 2 or 3 elections, जब से थोड़ा सा sense आया है हम लोगों को, so हमने 3-4 elections देखे होंगे अब तक. उसमें अभी थोड़ा सा tone shift होने लग गया है कि if people have started taking credit for the achievements of the Indian Army as if politicians की वजह से हो रहा है जो हो रहा है. People have started using the Indian Army for their own political gains, so to speak. Do you have any opinion on this?
I will not blame the politicians so much because I fully subscribe to what Field Marshal Manekshaw once said. that you show a politician a mortar and a motor, he'll not be able to make out the difference between the two. एक मोटर है गाड़ी चलाने वाला, एक मोटर it's a tube through which you launch bombs.
Yeah.
They are clueless
Right.
about anything. Yes, they are completely clued up about taking electoral mileage, which in all people, right thinking people, is very, very wrong. The army, the armed forces, their way of conducting military operations is not based on the political dispensation which is available at that point of time. They are subservient to the political dispensation, definitely, चाहे BJP हो, Congress हो, कोई भी हो, वो बोलेंगे go into Pakistan, they will go into Pakistan. For example, Shah Bahadur was told by Indira Gandhi to go into East Pakistan at a particular point of time. So he asked, do you want, if I remember right, he asked, do you want an almost assured victory, or do you want a very high probability of failure? He was a strong man. So he asked him why. He said, you want me to go in June? May, June, July में बरसात होती है. वहाँ साला तुम खड़े नहीं हो सकते बंचो. You can't send your bloody tanks and infantry to columns through. Where will you move? December. थोड़ा जो बिरयानी उसको थोड़ा पकने दो. Let the other side do many more funny things there. Yes, blood will have to flow, but you must launch an operation at your time of choosing, in a ground of your choosing, so that your chances of success are the most. Indira Gandhi did not take credit for 71 in that sense. It happened. Okay. Lately, I'll blame 100% blame. I will lay at the feet of senior serving military men. I will not name that person.
Right.
You'll come to know on your own.
Yes.
One or two persons, for their vested interests, I'll be categorical. If I'm not candid, then I'm not relevant. Lee Kuan Yew also said that you have to be candid to be relevant.
True.
For their own vested interests, they are threatening to invite the armed forces to become political from within. What will happen?
Right.
One senior chap who's there, who's at the top, he's trying to cozy up to the political dispensation for whatever future benefits.
Yes.
Yeah. This will trickle downwards.
Definitely, sir.
So lower down the chain, people will start thinking and behaving in that way. And something which did not even happen in the Wehrmacht in World War II, in the German armed forces, it may happen in India. They are supposed to tell the political dispensation, sorry, boss bolo. Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Sorry, sir. You're a fellow very fucking chutia. You don't know. Don't do this. The armed forces will not take credit. The credit will be taken by the government of India.
Yes. Whoever is there at that point of time.
Government of India. Government of India functions as per the Constitution of India. So the Constitution should be given credit. Not one bloody political party or not one political figurehead. Who can stop that? This military man can say, no, don't do it. You want to give credit to anything, you give credit to India's getting fed up of the nonsense which the Pakis come to us. तो उनके बालाकोट में जाके बजाएंगे, ये यहाँ पर करके बजाएंगे. You take credit, give credit to India. India is a nebulous entity. 26 states. You give credit to Constitution. You give credit to our own getting fed up of nonsense. But you don't take credit on your own.
Yes.
That's not done. The credit for armed forces is not taken by anybody. Because these clowns, they're not Churchill or Bismarck or such kind of tremendous figures in history. They're nowhere close to it. They're pathetic. They're very, very poor. They're not even shadows. So for them to start taking credit for such actions, it speaks about how small such little men they are, men and women.
They're massaging their own ego, so to speak.
And at the expense of the armed forces. And the armed forces feel very embarrassed about it. Yeah, you're doing a job. Now, this job was given to you by the political dispensation. Why is the political dispensation taking credit for it? For what? For doing a job? Rubbish. That's the job of the government of India.
सही सर. अगर रोज रात को लोग रिपब्लिक टी पे वो सब देखते कि एक बार ये सुन लेना तो काफी लोगों के दिमाग खुल जाएंगे. आपने इतना बिना नाम लिए इतना कैंडिडली बताया. Nice.
Even at the worst time in the Second World War, there were very illustrious German generals who resigned. Sorry, I will not do this. He said, this goes against my principles. This goes against my military ethics. I will not do this. I will not get into a concentration camp and shoot, say, 150,000 refugees or Jewish inmates. I will not do that. I resign. ठीक है भाई. Sir, हाइल हिटलर भी नहीं करते थे, स्टैंडर्ड सैल्यूट मारते थे, जर्मन सैल्यूट, पीछे मुड़ ऑफ, एंड ही हैज गॉन इनटू ऑब्स्क्यूरिटी. अभी लोग उसका नाम भी नहीं जानते उस टाइम पे. देन वंस हिस्ट्री इज रिटन, पीपल कम टू नो. That people don't do. So there is a lack of this moral fiber.
Why? That's what I was coming to. The moral fiber has degraded over the years. Yeah.
In the top lot, there is definitely a degradation in moral fiber. Have that kind of moral fiber that was shown earlier by Cariappa, and now it is in public domain. Cariappa or Thimaiya or Cariappa. I'll just refresh myself. He resigned. 1962 में जो हुआ था, he resigned for that debacle. Nehru stabbed him in the back, bastard. He forced him to withdraw his resignation. That son of a bitch in parliament, he said कि Cariappa ने बोला कि मुझे resign मत करना, don't force me to resign. So these are the kind of political people we had.
Yep.
In spite of that, let me tell you, in spite of that, if the Indian armed forces are so apolitical, it is because of the quality of manpower which comes in at the officer level, at the junior officer level, who are still infused with a lot of enthusiasm to do good by their uniform and not get into this dirty politics. But one cannot say the same thing about the very top ranking officers. They are supposed to resign. The resignation for a very senior officer in the armed forces is an extremely powerful weapon. What does it mean? Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. President, you're my commander-in-chief. I have lost faith in you.
Yep.
That's why I'm resigning. And after I resign, I will speak. I will explain elaborately why I've resigned.
Why?
And there'll be shit on your face then.
Yep.
This moral fiber is supposed to be possessed by very senior ranking Army, Navy, Air Force officers. If they don't possess it, then the armed forces is used like an unpaid prostitute by the political dispensation. उसकी lobby, लेकिन उसको पैसा भी मत दो.
पैसे भी मत दो.
So what, modern language में बोलते हैं ना, that the armed forces becomes the biatch, becomes the bitch of the political party. वैसे होगा. It is happening slowly. I just hope better sense prevails.
Let's hope that doesn't come to that. Yeah.
Doesn't come to that.
Let's
Otherwise,
hope,
nothing will happen. Armed forces are not, our armed forces are not so weak. They're very, very strong from within. जो ऊपर थोड़ा senior lot जो करते हैं, इतना नहीं है. But it will be tougher for the junior men, for the officers to come to grips with this. What nonsense is taking place here? You would be left at the mercy of these politicians. कौन सा अंगूठा टेकना वो नहीं पता है यार.
हाँ.
I have very radical thoughts about the electoral process. We can speak about that later. But what we are speaking about, the politicization of the armed forces, that is not very easy to do. That's not very easy to do.
Let's hope it stays that way. And
yeah. So yeah, for my maybe the present BJP, they were supposed to be more armed forces friendly. If I may put it that way. So थोड़ा छाती पीटना कि भैया हमने ये कर दिया, कोई बात नहीं, childish people करने दो, no problem. चलो दे दो यार उनको, उन बालों को कर दिया, ठीक है, okay. We laugh at them, but ठीक है.
Nice. Political parties की बात ही कर रहे हैं. So, have you seen a shift between transitional governments in the mentality of or the mindset of the armed forces? के, for example, अब बीजेपी बोलती है we are friendly to armed forces. तो was there a sentimental shift उस time पे when they came into power कि हाँ let's see is there expectations rise or?
Yes, where it affects us is that the BJP, in my humble opinion, has let down the armed forces very badly, which was not expected. You can expect it from the Congress. Nehru Sheru, cigarette peene wala, champagne पीने वाला, उसको क्या पता फौज के बारे में? He doesn't know anything. He is the person who landed us into the 62 soup. Nehru Sheru ठीक है. But the BJP, which formed one of its planks for getting elected, was that we support the armed forces. We will be tough with Pakistan. We will be tough with China. कौन सा घंटा tough with Pakistan, China? वहाँ China बकवास कर रहा है लद्दाख में. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? Second thing is, there was a recent thing about the revision of pensions, revision of service records वगैरह. You don't expect this from a political party for whom one of its main election platforms, the flank, is support of the armed forces. You don't expect that to happen. ठीक है, ये नहीं है कि you give them a bloody Fort Knox, कि Reserve Bank की चाबी दे दो उनको जो करना है ना. But you protect what is there. Try and project it as the premier service in India, as against the IS, who are basically babus, a glorified class. Try and project it as such. So you can't make their living conditions very much better because we are surrounded by two extremely hostile neighbors with whom we will never be at peace.
True.
Yep.
तो जंग तो होना ही है, छोटा छोटा जंग होता रहेगा.
होता
What we
रहेगा.
can do is increase their pay, privileges, perks, or at least don't disturb what is going on.
Yes.
Don't
Hmm.
finger them. Don't
Hmm.
degrade them. If you degrade them, tomorrow, what do I have to offer to a youngster who's maybe 15, 16, 20 years old? कि बेटा फौज ज्वाइन करो, वो तो वेंचर बहुत तेज है,
हाँ.
व्हाट्सएप पे देखेगा, सर ये तो आर्मी ऑफिसर्स का पेंशन कम करने वाले हैं, ये
Yes.
बोल रहे हैं कि सर्विस बढ़ा देंगे, ये बोल रहे हैं ये करेंगे वो करेंगे, मैं जो पीछे उंगली तो पीछे से मार रहे हो, आप बोल रहे हो कि फौज ज्वाइन करो, किसलिए ज्वाइन करूं, मैं तो इंफोसिस में जाऊंगा,
Hmm.
या
Hmm.
मैं
हाँ,
आईटी
हाँ,
में
हाँ.
जाऊंगा, I'll do
Yeah.
something else. Sometime in 2010, my riding group जो यहाँ पे है, you know, motorcycle riders का हमारा एक ग्रुप है,
Hmm.
so young people are there, 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, so they asked me कि सर फौज के बारे में थोड़ा सा बोलो, like we are speaking now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
They
yeah,
also didn't
yeah.
know. So they said कि sir give us a small presentation or you can
Yeah.
give us a small chat. ठीक है, राइड वाइड करके आ गए, कॉफी पी रहे थे, समोसा खा रहे थे. Then I gave them a small presentation. You know the kind of questions which people asked me. The first question which that group asked me was,
Hmm.
what is the exit policy? मैं कहा भोसड़ी के अभी तो एंटर नहीं हुआ है. You know, enter वहां पर भी और फौज में भी दोनों. If you can understand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Exit कहाँ से होगा? या कहीं प्रीमैच्योर तो नहीं हो गया तेरा?
yeah.
You know, I insulted him, but he was very calm. He said, नहीं sir, अभी क्या है? Until you know what is the exit policy, it should be worthwhile for you to enter that profession so that you can exit.
Hmm.
Then I said, I'm sorry to speak in this disparaging manner to you.
हाँ, हाँ.
Hmm.
Then it carried on further. Then questions came, sir, if I work harder,
Hmm.
और आप जो बोल रहे कोर्सेज में अच्छा करूं, तो मेरा प्रमोशन प्रोस्पेक्ट बढ़िया हो जाएगा? मैंने कहा थोड़ा सा होगा.
Right.
थोड़ा सा क्यों होगा?
Hmm.
या मेरे को और पे मिलेगा? मैंने कहा नहीं, पे
Hmm.
तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया देती है, जो इंक्रीमेंट मिलना है वो इंक्रीमेंट मिलेगा, हर 10 साल में पे कमीशन होगा.
Hmm.
You know, what was happening was, I was crossing out that checkbox which would make the armed forces a viable career.
Yeah.
मुझे गन देकर के बॉर्डर पे भेजेंगे पाकिस्तानियों को मारने के लिए, मैंने कहा नहीं ऐसा नहीं
Right.
होगा. So then I realized कि now fast forwarding to 2020 about things which are happening on WhatsApp, the chief of defense staff, you know, all those kind of things. This sends out a very, very wrong signal that we do not care about the armed forces. I just hope it reverses. Please have your wishes also. To
Of
hope
course,
that
sir.
armed forces don't
Yeah.
suffer this. Others, it will be very bad.
Talking about you, sir, 26 years of service, what was the proudest moment across those 26 years, if you can pinpoint to one?
I can say that one of the proudest moments was that in 1992, when I came on leave for the first time, I had got some arrears with me.
Hmm.
In today's times, they are अठन्नी चवन्नी. कुछ 6-7 महीने का पे मिला था, which came to I think 18,000 rupees or something.
Okay.
Yeah, about 9 months pay. And my
Okay,
pay was 2,000
okay.
rupees per month.
Hmm.
So I had gone to the most expensive sari shop in Pune. And I bought 3 saris, one for my mother, one for my grandmother, one for my other side wala grandmother. So 3 saris I had bought. And when I gave those saris to them, I presented to them. So my mother said, you have bought this from there? I said, yes. लगा कि अब छांटा पड़ेगा. ये इतनी महंगी साड़ी, तेरी औकात है? इतनी महंगी साड़ी. 950 rupees in 1992 I had spent on one sari.
Hmm.
और thinking शील से कि तेरी औकात है ये खरीदने के लिए? तो फटीचर फौजी है यार, वो कच्चे में इतना छेद है. She had tears in her eyes. And she said, beta, there is nothing more that I expected from you as an army officer and my son to do with your first pay. नहीं तो तू जाके दारू की बोतल खरीदता, वो नहीं किया. You got this gift for us. And of course, Yachin was there to proud in the sense, the feeling of contentment that my efforts to keep this bastard alive, the Almighty respected. बोला कि यार ठीक है, इसको मैं छोड़ देता हूँ. इन लोगों ने बहुत जान दी इसके लिए, इसको मैं छोड़ देता हूँ.
वो गेट से वापस लेकर आया उसको. हाँ.
गेट से वापस लेके. We stole that man's life from the jaws of death.
Sir, it has been an absolute honor and a privilege speaking to you and listening to your stories. Thank you so much for taking so much time out and helping us living vicariously through your eyes, sir.
For giving this opportunity.
Genuinely,
Thank you, sir.
thank you for your service, sir. I mean, even if we are able to accomplish 1/4 of what you have done for the country, I think we'll call ourselves able and good citizens.
No, if I may pause you here, I like to think that every single one of us in his own special, there are no big ways and small ways, there are just ways.
Right.
They are doing something for the nation. You're doing something here to maybe people might get to know a bit more about the army.
Right.
I'm doing
Right.
something else. My Jawan is doing something else. The humble farmer is doing something. As long as the goal is the same, that is to work for the nation and to keep each other happy. We are all doing our part.